And the biggest win, though, the biggest win can't be measured in acquisition costs. It has to be measured in morale and the efficiency of my sales team. My sales team is flourishing. A 600-unit group is now doing the work of 100. And I don't need to go out now and worry about training and hiring hundreds of new sales folks. In fact, in this economy, that would be kind of risky. The morale changed overnight. They expect new leads, no more people interested in a new iPod or a free iPod, and no more people who don't care on the phone. And frankly, doubling efficiency, I think you all agree, is much more economic and cheaper to do than trying to double the size of a sales force. So instead, we're selling more widgets, we're doing it in a more streamlined fashion, and my team is doing what they love to do, and that's selling.
Well, there you have it. I hope you all came to the same conclusion. But before we move on, can I get a round of applause for these highly trained thespians out there? If you would like to see that hot transfers dramatization again or pass it along to someone who didn't have the luxury of witnessing it here live, we have an online video demonstration of the exact same widget hot transfers process on our website at DoublePositive.com. Now, let's do some post-game analysis of this solution. The most identifiable aspect of this solution that we provide is the addition of a live human in the process as played by Mr. DoublePositive, Joey Liner. But allow me to be crystal clear on this point. DoublePositive is not a call center. DoublePositive is a technology platform. Multiple domestic call centers play a role in this platform, and we utilize them in a champion versus challenger type of methodology. At any given time, we have 3 to 5 call centers as part of our platform, and they're all competing against each other for our business. We monitor all their key performance metrics every day, side by side, and they see how they compare with the other players as well. It's call center A versus call center B versus call center C. However, to our clients, it feels like one big DoublePositive call center. After a few months, if a challenger call center does not put sufficient pressure on a champion call center, we pull the challenger call center out of the platform like a Lego, go back to our RFP process, find a new challenger, and drop them in just like a Lego. This allows us to be always driving the highest performance and the lowest cost. But frankly, it takes more than a bunch of call centers to successfully deliver live hot transfers and to be the leader. Our platform represents custom proprietary software, real-time reporting and alerts, lead optimization technologies, and a patent-pending business model. We've invested over $8 million in venture capital into the development of this platform, and as a result, our clients have full transparency, better insight into their lead performance, and the ability to squeeze more juice out of their existing lead flows. Bottom line, guys, we create value. We create 2 dimensions of value. Now, as you witnessed from the hot transfers dramatization, and you heard from Casey Cook, lead buyer, firsthand, we made his sales force more productive, substantially more productive. We replaced all the time his sales folks were wasting chasing down consumers, leaving messages, scheduling callbacks, sending emails, with time spent selling. And we've seen sales organizations whose sales folks were closing on average 4 deals a month go to 6 or 7 deals a month by utilizing live hot transfers. This measure is often overlooked by marketing departments. Think about it for a second. Nowhere is this math calculated in metrics such as acquisition cost, cost per app, cost per enrollment, cost per funded loan. It's the value of time. But speaking of acquisition costs, though, we can drive that down as well by providing a lift in conversion rates. How? Well, you witnessed it firsthand. By following up with Rich, the consumer, within seconds of his expression of interest. It's much more likely he will result in a sale, and being the first to contact Rich allows us to control the sales process away from any potential competitors. We've literally seen conversion rates double when using live hot transfers. That will drive down your customer acquisition costs. Yes, we do charge a fee for our service, but our costs will be made back in orders of magnitude. So if you think live hot transfers might be a fit for your organization, the next step is to discuss a test campaign with us. As you might imagine, we're pretty good at getting tests up and running pretty fast. We can be up and running with the test in about 24 hours or less. And oh yes, there are no minimums and no setup fees. Now, just out of curiosity, who in the audience might like a little bit more information on live hot transfers? Good. Great. It will be fun. I guarantee you. So, we have a few minutes left, so let's take a few questions. Yes, ma'am.
What about after hours? When we do a lot of meetings after hours that we can't handle.
Sure. The schedule is completely dictated by our clients on the demand side of the equation. They tell us the days of the week and the hours of the day they wish to take transfers, and frankly, even within that timeline, they have a little button on a website that they can go on hold or go active at any time. That dictates whether or not a lead coming in is going to go to the call center to try and result in a hot transfer. So basically, the clients are telling us when they want the transfers, and we can counsel them on when their best staffing practices would be based on their lead flow. But I have to admit, we're not 24/7 because we don't have any clients that want to take transfers at 3 in the morning at this point. Go figure.
And I'd say on that note, one thing we've been able to do is work with some of our customers, with their suppliers, to actually regulate the lead flow to match that as well. So normally, if you put your account on hold for us, we're getting leads on your behalf, they're still going to come in, even though you're off. They'll queue up and we'll hit them the next day. We've been successful getting some suppliers and our customers to turn them over to the lead flow on us. So we're only getting leads when you're active. And that's important because then we're hitting those leads fresh and not queued from the night before. Right.
Questions? Yes, sir. So the fee structure is pretty flexible. We have to take a look at your situation, take a look at your industry or vertical. But basically it comes down to 2 types of pricing models, either per transfer or per managed lead. So in essence, either one, we're going to get paid for every transfer that we result in. That's the only way we get paid. Or 2, we calculate how many leads you want us to try and run through our process, knowing that is never 100% of them will result in a transfer, but we would get paid on every lead that we're managing through our process. Well, all the reporting would be coming back to the client in real time. So at any given time, the report of which leads resulted in a transfer and which ones didn't, and why. And that's usually, to Brian's point about working with the suppliers, that's some information we usually feed back to the suppliers. It helps them with their own quality assurance efforts, and it also helps in negotiating things such as credits.
Also, on the managed lead model, we do keep the lead in the dollar queue typically for about 5 business days. We call on it for about 4 times in that business day. After the 5th business day, we will mark the record as non-contactable and then let you turn the lead back to you, because there are other methods for you trying to contact the consumer. You can email market to them. You can give it to some of your lower level sales folks to try to get them on the phone as training, or you can also direct mail to them. So there still could be some value in those leads. We just couldn't get them on the phone within those first 5 days.
Yes, sir.
I work in, we have a mobile ad network, so do you see the same value if the lead comes in the form of a phone call?
Frankly, more value. And we're very bullish. Obviously, here at LeadsCon, the majority of business taking place here is consumers filling out forms on the web. But there's one thing that a computer is not yet what a mobile device is. It's not a good live communication device. So while they're filling out the form on the web, everything else has to take place through this other device, the phone sitting next to their computer. However, the mobile device is unique that allows the consumer to respond to an offer right there and also be live communicating with one of our call centers. Now, that's a little bit different in a paradigm than what we discussed here today. That would go to one of our inbound call centers, where everything that you saw here today was dealing with the outbound call centers. But aside from that paradigm shift of inbound versus outbound, the process is exactly the same. The live contact is established by the consumer from the mobile phone. We would ask 3 qualifying questions and confirm their interest, and then transfer and charge on a per transfer basis. But the transfer ratio is substantially higher because live contact is almost always guaranteed. Whereas with an internet lead, live contact is the biggest challenge.